Let's fight. Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome in the ring. A very good evening to you. Happy Thursday. And you guys know, once it's Thursday, it is Talk Back Thursday, and we want to hear from you. Once in a while, we have to start late just to ensure that you guys miss us enough. Just to ensure that you guys miss us enough. Well, lots of information to share with you guys, and we want to ensure that we are being shared around as well. And so, allow me to share at my end, pay the cost of admissions, folks. Let's share the live stream. You don't want to be anyplace else this evening. Lots of information for you. And as I said, I want to hear what's happening where you are. I really want to hear what's happening where you are and get your insight into some of the issues that we are going to be touching on this evening and dealing with. So as I said, let me ensure that I am shared at my end and that all is well. And then we are going to be ready to start properly, folks. Again, welcome in the ring, whether you're joining us on Twitter, give us a retweet, you're on Facebook, share, whether you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. We love what is happening with our channel on YouTube. And that channel is Shonette Dover Duncan on YouTube, just like my Facebook page. And while you're on our page, folks, we ask that you like our Facebook page at Shonette Dover Duncan, or whatever Facebook page you might be picking us up from. Click the follow, click the like. But especially if you're joining from my Facebook page, Shonette Dover Duncan, I really ask that you like that page. And we're going to get to it in just a couple. Want to ensure that we are shared on the right channels, and then we're going to get right to it, folks. So let me ensure. I got so many devices in front of me this evening, but I'm going to ensure that I am on where I need to be. So thanks for joining us wherever you're picking us from, and we're going to get right to it in just a little bit. Wherever you're picking us up from, we are tremendously grateful. Let me ensure that we are shared the right places, and then we are good to go. All right, I think I am almost where I need to be, folks. Almost where I need to be. Almost. And good to see each and every one of you. Let me see where you guys are joining us from. So make sure you include that where you are joining us from, and I'm going to make sure that we give you guys a shout out in just a little bit. So I'm sharing at my end. Yep. Lots of devices in my hand this evening, ensuring that we are in all the right places. And if I'm having some trouble, I'm figuring you guys might be having some trouble as well. Getting it done. So I'm giving you some time, basically giving myself some time too. Good to see each and every one of you. All right, I'm closer to where I need to be. And we're almost there, guys. Almost there. Stay with us. We're starting from Irfaan and we're going right down the line, folks. Right down the line. Yes, we're starting with Irfaan. That's where we're starting this evening. So all of the trenches, y'all better get out your dictionaries or whatever else you use to start abusing us. Whatever else. We ain't taking no prisoners tonight, folks. Giving you guys an opportunity to share. Our devices at this end a little slower this evening, so we're taking our own sweet time. I see some folks joining us from French Guyana. A lot about French Guyana in the news recently, of course. Some folks joining us from Kuru Kuru. Good to see you guys there, folks. Do us the biggest favor of our lives and share the live stream for us. Do us that very, very big favor and share the live stream. All right, do us that favor, guys. Good to see so many of you out there. Really good to see so many of you out there. All right, and I think we are shared in all of the right places. I think we're shared in all the right places, guys. All right, let me ensure that I have my notes ready as well. Because believe it or not, I'm not talking from the top of my head. God knows. All right, so I have my notes ready, and I am advised that you guys are ready at your end as well. and we're going to get right in. How are you guys doing? I see Gavin Holder has joined us. I see Morris Oxford is talking about the Isri Passé. Is that a reference to what I said about French Guyana? Is that a reference to that? Guys, we're going to get right to it in a little bit. The old phone with the cracked screen moving very, very slow. But I am so ready to go. So my notes are checked. Ensure that you guys give us a like wherever you're joining us from. And we are really working, guys, with that feedback problem we have been having. And so tonight I'm going to wear my earpiece because I want no problem at all. All right. And I'm holding for a couple more folks, and then we're going to get right to it, guys. Wherever you're joining us from, Dorette, Jackson, Felician, and Sylvia Allen, Mowanva Blair, and Thomasina Ben, Carol Fortune, Candace, and Audrey, and all the other guys, Andrea Boston, wherever you guys are joining us from, we are tremendously privileged that you are here with us. All right, guys, I am so much closer to where I need to be. We almost at the magic number, almost. And we're going to wait on you guys. We're going to hold for you guys. Hope you guys are looking resplendent wherever you are. And guys, if you come on this evening, ensure that you're dressed appropriately. And I really would wish to hear from a couple of you guys. You have the number that you are supposed to be texting to, right? And you are WhatsApping yes to that number. And as soon as I get that, or as soon as I can, I'm going to allow you guys to come in the live stream. Folks, if you are ready, I am ready as well with our hot topics for this evening. And I really want to take my time and touch some of this stuff. Let me get my headpiece, my earpiece. Let me ensure that make sure everything is set up. Because when we start, we start. All right, I have that. Yeah. I'm adjusting my earpiece. And guys, I am ready to go. Ready to go. Give me a second. Yes, I wasn't as ready to go as I thought. All right. So again, those of you who are joining us on Twitter, those of you who are joining us on YouTube, we want to welcome all of you this evening. Let me pull my notes closer. We want to welcome all of you this evening. And we are starting this evening with the install administration, because how could we start any place else? There's where we're starting the discussion this evening, with the installed administration. And if you guys having any trouble with the audio, I hope not, just let me know in the comment section. Again, as you come on, share this live stream. We want to see your emojis. We want to see the shares, whether on Twitter, retweet, on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, however you are joining us. We want you guys to come on. I'm going to be joined a little later on by my friend Randolph Critchlow. I'm going to be joined by him in just a couple minutes. But let's get to it, and then Randy is going to join us from the Rush, which is on the afternoon AFC page. Well, all the pages in the afternoon. I'm going to have Randy with us in just a little bit. So let's start with the the catfish install administration. As you know, yesterday was arrival day. And I had a little statement about Indian arrival day. My reflection on the East Indians coming to Guyana, and how in my own family, East Indians have played such an important role in my own molding and upbringing. Because in my family, even though I am Duncan, we have Singhs in my family. My aunt, an aunt of mine, is married Singh. And then I have another aunt who is married Narain. My own sister is married Pandi. So, folks, I have some nephews whose hair is so straight, you won't even know that we are related. But Irfaan Ali yesterday, during his message on Arrival Day, while throwing a lot of shade, folks, a lot of shades and a lot of hints, he forgot to read the proper history books. He absolutely forgot to read the proper history books. And I want to bring a little bit of what Irfaan said yesterday, the installed president. And I'm going to play it for you a couple of times for those persons who mightn't hear it in the first go, exactly what he said and how really and truly atrocious it was. And nothing short of an apology would suffice to correct this very, very major blunder by Irfaan Ali. And so I want you guys to take a listen, and then I'm going to come back on the other side, and we're going to get some of your, I want to see some of your thoughts on this. So this is what he said. Yep. Let us remember. That is the statement, folks. Let us remember. And then he goes on. I don't want to remember that statement. I want to forget it was ever said. I want to forget it was ever uttered. That is what I want. I want to forget. I do not want to remember that by any means. And quite a few persons would have come to social media and stated their displeasure by what was said. And I want to share a couple of them with you. I want to share a couple of them with you because, again, it was so out of the ordinary. It was really and truly atrocious. I don't know if we got to fire the speechwriter. I don't know if Ali went on a tangent of his own. He was off script and trying to speak off the cuff, but none of it was his forte. And this is what, for instance, this is what I saw Nigel Hughes would have said on social media. And I want to read some of it for you. Attorney at law Nigel Hughes, he says, the door of no return, Gorée Island, Senegal. This is where the door of no return, the place, the prison that Nelson Mandela was kept for 27 years was, right? And where slaves were shipped across the Atlantic. He says, our ancestors, this is Attorney at law Nigel Hughes. He says, our ancestors must be looking forward to their new life in the Caribbean from the slave trading center of Gorée Island. As I said, it is where slaves were shipped to the quote-unquote New World. Mr. Hughes goes on to say, one Guyana just got to love the geographic space called Guyana. And then he quotes the president, the installed catfish president. Let us remember, every group that did so, every group that came did so for improvement, did so for improved living conditions, did so that successive generations will be better off. So we know that as being factually incorrect, quote unquote, factually incorrect. The premise of what he said was incorrect. And I know the trenchies wouldn't want to read this evening. They wouldn't want to discuss this, but it was factually incorrect. The premise was faulty. Here is what Attorney at Law Darren Wade said on social media. Attorney at Law Wade said, "Do not dare take for granted that tens of millions of Africans who died in the Middle Passage and endured unimaginable hardships and built the foundation of the world's wealth without compensation for their labor or their dignity that the humans deserve." Let me read that again. Do not take for granted the lives of tens of millions of Africans who died in the Middle Passage, endured unimaginable hardships, and built the foundations of the world's wealth without compensation for their labor or the dignity that all humans deserve. Do not take them for granted. And so these people weren't coming for better living conditions. The living conditions of others were improved because they came. So again, what was said was factually incorrect. Factually incorrect. And as we are on Heads of State, we just talked about the installed one. Let us now turn our attention to a duly elected head of state. Well, some of y'all talk too much now. And Granger said, "I done with that madness." That's what Granger said. Granger said, "I finished with the madness." Right? You want to talk nonsense? Well, you can get nonsense play. So, former President, His Excellency David Arthur Granger, is suing Kit Nascimento, Critchlow News, and Guyana Times for over $1 billion. Right? Y'all think it's only Nandalal and them boys could sue? Right? But Granger said now that he emotionally distressed by what he's reading. He said he has suffered financial injury, constant distress, and humiliation. So, Nascimento, you playing you like dog. Well, Granger speaking now. And over the mic. Granger is speaking now. So, President Granger, His Excellency, is suing Nascimento, Critchlow and Times for $2.6 billion. And this is some reporting we're pulling up, in particular from Starbuck News. Yep, some people feel it's only they can sue, you know. Some people feel only they can sue. And that is the challenge that we're having right now. That's the challenge we're having right now. Folks, I want to turn my attention to this story. And let me see if Randy might be available. Give me a second, folks. I saw some action just now, but I don't know. All right. Give me a second. Let's ensure that you have all the information. All right. So again, we have been following this story for some time now. As you guys may know, if you have been following us, we've been following this story. All right. Just ensure that I'm the right place. Yeah. So we have been following the Shonette Dover story and the hunt for Shaquan Allen. And the more we delve into this story, it is the more interesting it becomes. the more we delve into this story, it's the more interesting, the more intrigue it becomes. And so, in the latest installment of this story, just yesterday, I sat down with a young man um, whose name is rather Keon Luther, or Keon Arthur, rather. That's a name he says belongs to him, Keon Arthur. And in some sections of the media, apparently Keon would have told a colleague of his, whether directly or it was implied, that he was part and parcel of taking Shaquan Allen out of the jurisdiction. Of course, you know, Shaquan Allen is wanted for the brutal murder of Shonette Dover, for the brutal slaying of Shonette Dover, and he must be brought to justice. And so Keon would have reached out to us, basically in an attempt to clear his name. And I want to cue up that piece, ensure that we have that piece queued up for you, because he spoke with us, saying that he is not familiar with this story. In fact, he said, I think we get this in trouble. Hold on. Yeah. Let me ensure we have it queued up right. He intimates to us that, apologies there, he intimates to us, or intimated to us rather, that it is one Macadamon who should know where Shaquan Allen is. Apologies there for that transition. So here is Keon Arthur, in his own words. All right, so I'm being advised that we are not getting sound. So let me try to see if we can rectify that. I'm being advised that we are not having any sound. So let us try to rectify that in a minute or two, and then we are gonna get back to you where that's concerned. So guys, we're rectifying our sound issue. As I said, we're trying to avoid some of the feedback. So maybe we have just cut the audio directly, but we want you guys to have that whole piece. So we're going to have it back for you. So bear with us, folks. We are going to adjust this sound. You see how y'all fast? Oh God, boy. Look how y'all fast. No sound, no sound, no sound, no sound. So we're gonna adjust that for you, and we are gonna come back with that piece. But quite interesting, as we said. Here is Mr. Keon Arthur stating very, very clearly that he does not know anything about this matter. He does not know anything about this matter. Let me see if we can get the song better. Might have been something at our end. Let me see if we can get this song any better. All right, let me see. Apologies there. Let me try to have it back for you because we want you guys to hear what is happening and have an appreciation. Let me try once more to bring it back from the top and see if our sound is better.
Important things that you wanted to find out anything about Shaquan.
And let me know if you guys are
I
getting
don't
the
know
audio.
anything about this young man. I never see this young man in my life. I never talked to this young man. I don't even know the young lady that he killed. But what I know is that when I leave to go back to France, I stop in French Guyana and I called Macadiamond and I told her, I say, Macadiamond, I am in French Guyana. I'm coming up Monday to Cayenne. And she was like, okay, if I know you were coming, I would let you bring up my two friends. But I don't know if one of the guy was Shaquan because I didn't see the person and I didn't bring the person. So I want the people out there to understand, right? So when I talk with her, she says to me that you're gonna make paper for him. I'm the person to pass the two young men. But anyway, I didn't really follow up that. But the Sunday, I did went into the 3-star hotel to see someone, but it was not Shaquan because I take my best friend with me to come and see. You understand me? Because I go up to the room, I knock on the door, the person say hi, and I say hi, and then I go downstairs back and I tell my friend, oh, that okay, she can go. And I stay there with the person. We talk, we enjoy ourselves, not like having sex and nothing. We're just talking and laughing, you understand me? And then I leave the hotel, was to go back the night, but I was so tired, I did not go back. You understand me? So when I meet Cayenne the Monday, the Tuesday, I been by Macadamia house, and I asked her if the two guys meet up, and she was like, yes, they meet up, but the two guys, they went to see Daniela. I don't know if it's the exact Danielle the Creek, but I only know one Daniela. But I didn't really ask who Danielle because that doesn't concern me. So she were talking, and I told her, let me go and get some food. She said, man, I'm tired and and you lady food done. But anyway, I leave her. So the night I met her on the road again, she was sitting on the corner, you understand me? And I asked her, how you and the guy? She was like, oh, he good, he come up, you understand me? And I say, I want to come here and spend the night. And she was like, I don't have a problem with you spending the night, you understand me? So she said that the guy is there, and she don't leave the key, so where to pick up the key to go, and that was it. I didn't ask her anything else about the young man, but I want people to understand me. I don't know if it's the same Shaquan that that is missing, but it was two persons. She asked me to bring up. I don't know if one of the guy was Shaquan because I never saw the person. I will not lie, and Macadamia know the truth, and she know that what she told me and what I asked her. To be honest, right, when I heard those WhatsApp voice note going around, because my friend sent it to me, and I listened to the voice, and I said, I know this voice. You understand me? But anyway, I asked her, I think I called her and asked her, I said, Macadamia, the guy that is missing, is that the guy you was asking me to bring up? She said, no, it's not that person. But I said, your voice noticed in that WhatsApp. She was, yes. She said, yes, I know the girl that Shaquan killed. And she and the boyfriend and the girlfriend is friend. That's what she told me. But I never followed up the story. But when I don't see that my name is going wrong, how I bring up guy from Macadamia and me went in 3-star hotels. Well, to be honest with you, yes, I did went in 3-star hotel because I don't have to lie, because if the police then go there and ask the people for a camera, they're going to run it and they're going to see me, yes. But it's not Shaquan I went to see because I don't know this young man. I never meet this young man. I never see this young man. If me to bring him up, it had to be like around the, let me say, when I leave Guyana, around the 16th, and he was missing the 30th. So I don't have nothing to do with that. But I just want the people out there know that I don't have nothing to do with that young man disappearing. So, as I said again, I give the family my sympathy because no one deserves to die like that.
Yep. As one person I've heard on this matter said, I don't know if I might say this articulately, but anywho, somebody in the comments says that this story has 100 sides. This story has 100 sides. And we have tried in the best way to encapsulate everything that Keon Arthur would have said to us there. Right? So Keon wants the public to know that he has no knowledge of the whereabouts of Shaquan Allen. And you have heard him on the macadamia element in all of this. So on that bit, there is where we are. There is where we are on the issue. That being said, the latest news that we have on this matter is that Mr. Shaquan Allen is going to be put on the Interpol list. And so he is going to be flagged in a lot of jurisdictions, if not all of the jurisdictions. That is what it means to be on the Interpol list. That is the latest reporting that we have out of, I think, is HGPT Nightly, that Shaquan Allen is going to be put on the Interpol list. Again, we have tried our very best to convey exactly what Keon Luther would have said to us on who spoke to him or when he first became aware of the Shaquan Allen issue, being wanted for the murder, of the brutal murder of this young lady. And so it is for the public to deduce their own impression of all the information that is circulating on social media. Right? And I have put out all the information there that we have at this hour. Again, for those of you who might be now joining us, we have learned that Mr. Shaquan Allen will be placed on the Interpol wanted list. And so his name and identity will be flagged in almost all the jurisdictions on the planet. And again, we say that a heinous crime was committed. And it is indicative on all of us, if you have any information as to his whereabouts, to contact the closest police station. And so Keon Arthur has made it very clear he does not know where Shaquan Allen is, and his only engagement with the issue is when this individual called Macadamia would have made contact with him on the matter. And so that is the information that we have on that bit. That is information we have on that front, and we have some other issues that we want to bring to your attention this evening. I'll be joined now by my colleague Randolph Critchlow from The Rush. Randy, very good evening.
Good evening to you, Shed. Can you hear me? Because I think my mic is having some problems. You know what?
I can hear you.
Or you can hear me.
Right ahead.
I'm assuming the audience can hear me. Good night to your viewers and everybody locked into the ring tonight. Quite interesting, listening to the program. The audience, by the way, the audience didn't hear the fraudulent president and his.
Well, we are going back there, Randy. We are going back there.
Because
right there.
Yeah, there's so many issues shared. I don't think I always doing you justice tonight. So many issues, but I'm happy to be a part of your Talk Back Thursdays. I know that I dealt with this same issue shared earlier of the president's statement,
Uh-huh.
and the some of the audience members suggested that we probably need to gift him um, one of the books, The People Who Came. That so I think it's social studies books that's used in primary school, The People Who Came, because but Sharon, I say this so often. Whenever the president speaks, and whenever he has these scripted things that he gives, it is either it's packed with words that he can't pronounce, or it's total nonsense. One out of the two. Just choose your poison. It's either he can't pronounce the word, or and this is why it's important. People are asking for your degree. Where is your degree?
Yeah.
But think
Yeah.
it's
So Randy, let's go back to that piece, and then we're gonna
yes,
get some commentary on the other side. I'd be grateful if you mute for me.
yeah.
Let us remember that every group that came did so for improvement, did so to have improved living conditions, did so that successive generation will be better off. Let us remember that every group that came did so for improvement, did so to have improved living conditions, did so that successive generation will be better off.
The third term is a term.
Let us remember that every group that came did so for improvement, did so to have improved living conditions, did so that successive generation will be better off.
Yep. There we have it. Randy?
Successful generations will be better off. I don't know what the man is talking about. Obviously, the man doesn't even know what he's talking about, because you couldn't be talking about all of the groups that came, because the slaves didn't come seeking improved living conditions. They didn't strap themselves into the boats, into the bows of those ships in those heinous conditions, and said, you know what, we're going to go to the Caribbean and South America for this great life. That's not what happened, obviously. And the fact that you would read that this wasn't live, Sherrod. This wasn't live. This was a pre-recorded
Scripted.
out there. You had ample opportunity to listen to what you're saying, and you have to beg a question about, the mental
The
aptitude.
president got script writers, researchers, experts at his disposal. So to be making
I know
these
that. It don't
fundamental
pass them.
mistakes at this level, it's interesting.
Cheryl, I don't believe so. I really don't believe that script writers and researchers would give the president such hogwash to read. And even so, let's just assume that we don't throw them under the bus. Let's assume that the president went off cuff. This you have to ask a question. You have to really say to yourself that we are in trouble as a country if our president doesn't even know basic history. What is happening? It's
Yeah.
quite strange. It's befuddling to think that a man would read this and say, you know what? Yes, this can go out. You listen to
Yeah.
the recording.
And
Grave error.
Randy, on that note of strange, if you think this was an example of Guyana is not a real place, when the head of state is making that kind of fumble, we are hearing in this country that things are bad, and we feel it every day, Randy. The hardships, the economic hardship, the political hardships, and all of that. But this one, I think, takes the cake in terms of Guyana is not a real place. And we're going to play it a couple of times for you guys and have some comment on the other side. Randy? Go thief. Y'all hear things hard. Now y'all seeing it.
Was it this Shonette Allen?
Yep. Goat thief alien style. Two goat in the alien. Two passengers. It's a goat taxi service.
That. I normally use content like this for one more thing. This is unbelievable, Sharon.
Randy, you hear things bad in this country. You hear things bad.
I have no words. I really have no words, Sharon.
You see, sometimes when people say Guyana is not a real place, sometimes I get a little offended. But then you are confronted with the evidence, Randy. You are confronted with the evidence, and you're persuaded. And then when you listen to Irfaan Ali a day before talking about slaves coming here for betterment. You wonder if sometimes, as you say, this country is a failed state. Randy?
I mean, I it's just so amusing. As we talk about the president's faux pas, blunder, whether it was down to his scriptwriters or whether he went off cuff and he decided that he gonna wing it. Even if after he finished winging it, the people in the background who recording and say, big man, what you're saying there really makes sense. Outside of that, Sharon, I know you and I are always, we're on social media and we're sharing our views. And I wanted to come on tonight, especially to deal with one of the issues I believe has surfaced and is continuing to surface in our country is this attempt by the PPP to muzzle and censor and to put down protest.
Uh-huh.
We saw Gavin Matthews, what happened with him. Today we see Annette Ferguson and Christopher Jones being charged, so to speak, with being a part of an illegal procession. And this, of course, stemming from the 26th of April, when they were outside of the High Court before the petition ruling.
Yeah.
It's quite strange. I'm wondering, with all that is happening in this country, all the crime that we see happening, all of the corruption in these state agencies, does the Guyana police force not have anything else to do than to be running behind political oppositions and trying to charge people with these frivolous things at the behest of the fraudulent PPP government? It is becoming ridiculous at this point in time. It is becoming outright ridiculous. And
yep. And what we have up here is actually the summons from the police that Christopher Jones in particular, we know Annette Ferguson as well, is to appear in the Georgetown Magistrates Court tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow, the 7th day of May. And so we see again this whole push against freedom of assembly, freedom of speech. And what we're seeing is political victimization.
I say this because it sets such a dangerous precedent. I wonder, maybe it's an attempt to strike fear in people, because very well that their tenure in office is always littered by protests and people upset at what they're doing. And I wonder whether or not similar actions should have been taken against the sugar workers. Oh, I wonder if they were given permission to assemble and protest. Mm-hmm. The GPL workers who came out the other day, will they be charged with illegal procession? Will the nurses, when they, or the public servants, when they are going to protest, be charged with illegal procession, like those persons who assembled at the High Court the other day? What are we saying to our people?
But Randy, by now we have an appreciation that is different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
It
Obviously.
is quite evident. Different strokes for different folks. And while the police, looking to see who the APNU AFC coalition is out there speaking out against or what they're doing, some other police had some other ideas quite recently, and I want to show that and get your comments at the other end.
You find your phone? What do you phone there? You find your phone? What do you phone there? You find your phone?
So, Randy, some people might say that the priorities mix up. Thank you for your audio, Randy. Some people would say that the priorities mix up. Look, they're going after all, they're picking and choosing who they want to hold to the law. And I'm using that in a very, very broad sense. And you have articulated, you see sugar workers protesting, other folks are making their voices out there, but they're going only after some people.
Yeah.
So justice here is not blind at all.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Sharon, as we said, those persons didn't seek permission to protest. That's your right. You have the right to make your voices heard. Civil action. You have that right. And again, I wonder whether the police have anything better to do. And it is sad that they are being used as political pawns at this point in time. Being, people say the sick, the dog point,
Yeah.
They're being used as the rice eaters, like a Sigma rice eater, and so you could shut your mouth. And you mustn't go and assemble, and you mustn't do this. And we're going to find out these frivolous charges. Like Ramson saying he's emotionally distressed because Gavin Matthews says something about him. Where are we going?
Well, Granger emotionally distressed now. Granger emotionally distressed now, right? And as you're on that, Randy, and about what the police could be doing, I want to show you what they could be doing, right? Because they could be doing lots of things better, right? This is spa day at the prison, right? Prisoner on cell phone, prisoner hair being braided, getting your foot rubbed. Man, it seems as though things better on the inside.
No, but
than on the outside.
You know what's more interesting than the prisoners? There are two cats at the top of the roof fighting too. No big fight at the top there.
Ghana is not a real place, Randy. Is it? I mean, this is the prison. A man, okay, take away the hair braiding, the foot rub. Every man, each to his own. Right? But the phone, this man in prison, this man at a 3-star, at least.
This is
a 5-star. It's a 3-star, Randy.
And as you said, you're right, Shared, when you said these are things that the police should be concerning themselves with, that the administration should be concerning themselves with. What? I mean, for 1 month, a 19-year-old in Lindale killed a young lady and had the police going round and round in circles.
Yeah.
When anybody that sit down and watch any Lifetime movie knows that you check the house of the spouse or the boyfriend first. That simple thing the police force gonna do. The girl let's sit down in the yard 1 month while this boy make them a comic.
Well, Randy, as we've been looking at this issue, I've been trying my best not to be too critical of the police. I've been trying my level best.
Sharon, hold on. Before you go, I want to say this, and this is why I'm critical of them. I jumped into a taxi in Georgetown about 2 weeks after this young lady disappeared. And the taxi driver said the boy killed the girl. This is a taxi driver. So this was something that was out there, essentially. People assessed the information. They took in what the information was and they made an assessment. Couldn't the police do the same thing? Even on a suspicion, go and check the buy house? Oh, that's the most basic thing.
One would think.
Everybody's saying it.
One would think, right? You know, they are. You know, as we said earlier on, based on the comments, that this story got 100 sites,
Mhm.
and as one other person said, this story got more gaps than the Gap store.
Yep.
Right? But we've been very patient in terms of the accusations that we lay to the feet of the police, because you know lots of citizens are of the same view that the police, you know, they're up to the national spotlight here. A microscope is on them, but they seem not to be rising to the occasion.
Yeah. It's sad, shared. I mean, this is the most basic thing. I heard one woman say, you know, you lock up the father, the sister, the boy, and the police, because that is unbelievable to think that you ain't do the most basic thing. Check the house and the yard of the man that everybody suspect.
Yeah.
This is not peach. It's not a choir boy. This is somebody who's known to law enforcement. It's not a choir boy you're dealing with. You know the individual. And the most basic thing to do, and so you might not want to be critical of them, but I have been, and I will continue to be, because we have to expect better of them. We have to push them to do at least the basic thing to solve some crime in our society. It's the least you can do. Least you can do is to try and you know, I mean, somebody said put them down and let them watch a 24-hour marathon of Lifetime movies, because they will be able to solve this. Any housewife that is watching a Lifetime movie will tell you that where to go and find the girl.
Well, yeah, you said anyhow, but I learned a different way to pronounce it. Anywho, anywho,
Yes, very very sad.
anywho. You know, as we watch the time here, time has gone. We
Yeah.
still got a lot of information that we want to share with you guys. But you know, as we come to program time, unfortunately, we have to advise you guys, as we do every night, about COVID-19, is to sanitize, is to social distance, is to wear your mask. And just today, we saw, for instance, the World Health Organization, I think it was, saying in Trinidad and Tobago, for instance. Let me see if I have that bit for us. Yeah. Sorry, this is the Pan American Health Organization that is saying that you know the lockdowns are the only thing that can flatten the curve.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, we don't want to hear that here, but this is coming out of Trinidad and Tobago, and the officials were speaking there. And I think the Trinidadian government, Randy, was using it as justification or to say, you know, we're heading in the right direction, because here was the Pan American Health Organization who are talking about how the lockdown seems to be the only thing that really and truly flattens the curve. And
Mhm.
Dr. Carissa Etienne, out of Paho, was just talking recently about how more young people, for instance, in Brazil, are becoming infected with COVID-19 because of all of these new strain, and how Brazil is bursting at the seam. And so it is imperative that governments do not have one lax restrictions, that there are very strong restrictions in place, and again hinting at lockdowns as being perhaps the soundest of the methods in terms of flattening the curve and bringing COVID-19 under some semblance of control.
Yeah, definitely, share. I mean, we are up to 310 deaths in Guyana. And just for some reference point, on the 4th, today is what, the 6th, Sharon? Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
4th, we were at 310. On the 4th, we were at 305.
yeah.
In a
These
matter
are the
of
numbers
days.
for today, Randy. These are the numbers. It's 128 confirmed new cases, and you see we're almost now at 14,000 confirmed cases locally. And I saw some reporting out of somebody which suggests that there isn't a surge. Well, if all of these 100 plus every day aren't a surge, well, I don't know what is. I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So every day we're seeing these numbers, and we're now just shy of 14,000 confirmed cases. So our encouragement to folks, again, is the social distance, wear your mask, sanitize as the basic of the COVID restrictions
Yeah,
and
definitely.
protocols.
It's up to you. It's up to you, of course.
Your closing thoughts, Randy, as we go.
Yeah. I'm sticking with COVID here. I'm saying it's up to the people out there to be responsible. Again, do your research, and we know that there's a lot of contention with the vaccine, but the vaccine gives you a better chance of survival, if you want to put it that way. Uh, People, do your research. Listen to the medical officials. Don't listen to your cousin, friend, neighbor said that they hear something but the vaccine something. You do your own research and speak to medical professionals, get their advice, and then at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for yourself. And again, vaccine gives you a better chance of survival. That's my petition to people.
Well said. Folks, remember to share our live stream. Those of you who are going to come and watch us a little later after the show, you have to share the live stream too. And remember to like our page as you go. Thanks for joining us this evening. Randy, thanks for keeping me company on this Talk Back Tuesday, this
Yeah,
Talk
man.
Back Thursday rather, up in the ring. See you guys tomorrow. Flashback Friday. Stay safe, guys.